It was a bitter winter morning when a man drove off, leaving his loyal German shepherd shivering in the snow. The dog, confused and heartbroken, waited for hours, expecting his owner to return. But no one came. Passers-by saw him sitting in the cold, his eyes full of sadness, yet no one stopped until a 7-year-old girl named Lily noticed him from her bedroom window. Wrapped in her puffy coat and boots, Lily rushed outside with a blanket and a sandwich. She knelt beside the frightened dog, whispering gently as she wrapped him up and shared her lunch. Her small arms couldn't offer much warmth, but her compassion spoke louder than words. When her parents learned what had happened, they took the dog in, gave him food, warmth, and a name. Max. Lily and Max became inseparable. Where he had once been left behind, he now had a home and a little girl who loved him unconditionally. In a world that often looks the other way, it was the heart of a child that made the difference. And in that moment, in the snow, hope was reborn, not just for Max, but for everyone who heard their story. The snow fell steadily that morning, blanketing the ground in white silence. Amid the cold, a German shepherd stood alone, trembling beside a deserted roadside. His owner had driven away minutes earlier, leaving him behind without a second glance. With every passing car, the dog lifted his head, hoping it was someone coming back for him. But no one did until a little girl named Emily saw him from the backseat of her family's car. Tugging at her mother's sleeve, Emily pleaded, "Mom, we have to help him." Her parents hesitated but turned the car around. When they stepped out, the dog didn't bark or growl, he simply looked at them with tired, trusting eyes. Emily approached slowly, offering the crust of her sandwich and a warm scarf from her neck. That small gesture marked the beginning of a beautiful bond. Emily named him Shadow, and from that day on, he followed her everywhere, on walks, to the park, even to bedtime stories. Shadow was no longer a forgotten soul in the snow, he was family. In just one moment of kindness, a 7-year-old girl didn't just rescue a dog, she gave him a second chance at love and life. It was supposed to be a quick trip, but when her father stopped the car on a desolate snowy road and told their German shepherd, Rex, to get out, 7-year-old Sarah didn't understand. She watched in shock as the car door shut and her beloved companion was left behind. Her father drove away in silence, ignoring the tears streaming down her face and the confused look Rex gave them through the rear window. Back home, Sarah couldn't sleep. The image haunted her, the dog who had slept by her bed, licked her tears when she was sad, and protected her every moment. She waited until morning, bundled up in layers, and begged her mother to help her find him. Against the odds, they drove back to the road, hearts heavy with fear. And there he was, cold, weak, but still waiting. The moment he saw Sarah, his tail thumped against the snow. She ran to him, wrapping her arms around his neck as tears fell again, this time in relief. Sarah's compassion overpowered her father's cruelty. In saving Rex, she showed the world that even the smallest hearts can hold the greatest love, and sometimes, it's the child who becomes the true protector. The snow was falling hard that afternoon, turning the quiet road into a frozen landscape. Most people stayed inside, warm and unaware, but out there in the cold sat a German shepherd, alone and abandoned. His owner had driven away minutes before, leaving him to face the storm with nothing but loyalty in his heart and confusion in his eyes. Across the street, 7-year-old Mia watched from her window. She saw the dog shivering, lifting one paw after another in the freezing snow. Without hesitation, she threw on her coat, grabbed her favorite blanket, and ran outside. Tears welled up in her eyes as she knelt beside him, whispering, "It's okay now. I've got you." Her parents soon followed, moved by their daughter's bravery. They brought the dog inside, warmed him by the fire, and called a vet. Mia named him Lucky because that day, he got a second chance. But the real luck was theirs. In saving him, Mia reminded everyone that heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes, they're just little girls with big hearts and the courage to act when it matters most. That snowy day became a story of love, redemption, and the quiet power of compassion.